What's up everybody? It's been a while since I've done some news talk videos, so that's what I'm going to do today. There's two things I want to bring up. The first will be discussing the drama with Unity as corporate greed yet again puts a stain on the gaming industry. I also have a Star Wars topic I want to bring up. Another video of him talking about Star Wars? Shocking, right? Well, supposedly the Lando Calrissian show is being turned into a movie. Not many people are happy about that, but honestly, I'm indifferent. I could go for it, honestly, and I will talk about why. So, today I'm going to be talking about these two topics. Let's get into it. Like I said earlier, corporate greed has reared its ugly head yet again in the gaming industry. Back on September 12th, Unity announced some changes to their business model, which would affect developers financially. For those that don't know, Unity is a cross-platform game engine that was developed by Unity Technologies back in 2005, and the Unity engine is used on a variety of game platforms such as desktop, mobile, console, and virtual reality. The engine is used by many iOS and Android mobile game developers, along with other indie developers. So what did the company announce exactly? Well, starting in January, the company will begin charging what's called a Unity runtime fee. The fee is based on the number of users who install a game that has been created using the Unity engine. The fee will kick in once developers reach specific revenue and install thresholds. For example, developers that are on a Unity Personal or Unity Plus license, the fee will start once a project surpasses both $200,000 in revenue over 12 months and 200,000 total installs. Now, for those developers that are on the Unity Pro or Unity Enterprise licenses, they will be granted a higher threshold before they begin owing fees. The fee will kick in for those developers once a title earns $1 million over 12 months and passes 1 million installs. These fees will be charged on a monthly basis, and the amount charged per install will also vary depending on the license. Fees will also vary depending on what region the game is monetizing in. So there's a lot going on here, a lot of different things that these developers have to check into. And if you want to learn more, check out the article on gamedeveloper.com if you want more of the dollars and cents and a better explanation of, the technical terms for all this. So, why is Unity implementing this fee? Well, the company believes that an install-based fee allows creators to keep the ongoing financial gains from player engagement. Yet they're still charging them a bunch of money then for that. I don't get it. Anyways, President Mark Whitten told Game Developer that the company is seeking to better balance the value exchange between Unity and developers. Whitten then went on to speak more plainly, and he said that basically they want to make more money so they can continue to invest in the engine. So Unity received backlash almost instantly after making this announcement. Couple of examples. Rust developer Gary Newman had a nice little thread on X explaining what this means for the game developer. He did the math and he realized that Face Punch Studios would have had to have paid about $410,000 within this game's lifespan so far if this fee was, already implemented. So on average, they would have had to have paid Unity about $40,000 a year. And odds are, because Rust is still a game a lot of people play, these numbers would probably still be accurate, going years down the line if this fee was to really come out. Newman also questioned Unity's process in determining how much to charge. And then there's Xavier Nelson Jr., the head of indie studio Strange Scaffold, and he also commented on the situation. This is what he said. When a decision like this gets announced and you're 3 years into a 5-year journey, you have little to no choice. You're stuck with a partner who may be actively working against your interest, and who you increasingly cannot trust. Other developers complained that Unity's explanation and outline was confusing and misleading. Gaming reporter Steven Totillo from Axios brought up another good point. What happens if somebody deletes the game and then downloads it again? Or what if another person downloads the game on 2 separate devices? Will developers be charged multiple times then? And Unity claims that it will allow developers the chance to report fraud to a compliance team. But fraud is different from somebody literally just trying to download the game so they could play it on their PC or their Xbox. So ultimately, this whole situation is a mess. Unity did come out and apologize for the confusion and the angst that it created amongst developers. The company will be changing the policy, but at the time of me recording this, there have been no changes outlined, so we have to wait and see, I guess. I feel really bad for developers that use Unity because this fee literally means, in layman's terms, that the more successful you are, the more you will be charged for it. And from what I am reading, it sounds like free-to-play games are not included in this fee. I don't know if there's a different plan that Unity has for those types of games or what, but either way, that's kind of bullshit if true, because we know most free-to-play games make a ton of money on microtransactions and battle passes and all that stuff. So how is their success any different compared to those developers that actually sell their game? Oh, and this fee will push even more developers to offer microtransactions and create other pay-to-win models within their games, and this time we can't blame them because they are literally doing this to survive. I know everyone has to eat, but every time corporate comes up with stupid ideas like this, it negatively affects the gaming industry. It puts a lot of pressure on developers, and in return, gamers have to keep opening their wallets. I understand that everything can't be free, but fees need to be created fairly, and honestly, I hope Unity either makes major changes to this or just get rid of it entirely. Again, this is not good for developers and gamers in the long run. Now moving on to the Lando show, or should I say movie now, this is an interesting one. Lucasfilm confirmed to Variety that the Lando show will now become a movie. It was announced back in July that the Glover brothers, Donald and Steven, would be writing the show. Stephen Glover announced on the Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast that what they are creating is not a show but a movie. Now he can only say so much due to the ongoing SAG-AFTRA strike. Donald Glover will be returning to the role. He played Lando in the Han Solo movie, and Donald has always wanted to return to that role, and he talked about that back in the spring in an interview with GQ magazine. Here's a couple of quotes. Lando is charm incarnate. He's kind of a maverick, which I don't think there's a lot of anymore. It's hard to be a smooth talker nowadays. Where's the line? That's also where the danger is. How close can you get without tripping over it? And then he also said, I would love to play Lando again. It's a fun time being him. It just has to be the right way to do it. Time is precious. The past couple of years, this pandemic shit, it really had people experience time. People realize their time is valuable. You only get so much. I'm not interested in doing anything that's going to be a waste of my time or just a paycheck. I'd much rather spend time with people that I enjoy. It just has to be the right thing, and I think it could be. Lando is definitely somebody I like to hang out with. Now these are all good signs. He's passionate about the role, he's serious about making something that's not a waste of time. I do like that mindset so far, so you're kind of winning me over there. I get why people don't want a Lando movie because, I mean, I don't really think there's many people asking for that, but honestly, I'm cool with it. It makes sense as a show, but in my opinion, I think Star Wars could also have more movies that are simply fun adventure type of movies, just like the Solo movie. And honestly, I think most of the reason why Solo flopped is because it literally released just months after The Last Jedi when the fan base was really destroyed at that point, so things were not looking good, so I understand why people avoided that movie. And also, the Glover brothers, they're extremely talented and extremely creative. I watched Atlanta, and that is a great show. The last 2 seasons got a little bit weird, and even though I didn't like some of the changes and things they did, I can't deny how creative they were even with the weird stuff. And hey, this is Star Wars. We should be both encouraging and expecting some wacky, creative, weird stuff. And honestly, when it comes to some of you Star Wars fans out there, well, y'all need to learn to have fun again. Ahsoka has been a fun show, and some people have done nothing but complain about everything in it. It's exhausting. So yeah, personally, I am excited to see Donald Glover reprise the role, and sure, this isn't exactly the Star Wars film I envisioned, but I'll take it. Lando is a fun and likable character thanks to both Billy D. Williams and Donald Glover. Let me know your thoughts on the Lando movie and the Unity situation down below in the comments. Thanks for watching the video. Check out more videos on my channel and consider subscribing. You can also find my content on podcasting platforms if you prefer the audio version. Literally just Google Analyze This podcast and you'll find me on Spotify, Google Podcasts, basically any of your podcasting platforms. You can also find me on X and TikTok, X at AnalyzeThis_YT and TikTok at AnalyzeThis54_YT. Thanks again and take care.